All right, guys. So since we've been talking a little bit about kind of what makes a football manager so habit forming, so addicting, and stuff like that, I really think sometimes some of the reactions in the media to what happens is part of what goes on. So as you saw earlier today, our last match was kind of a stinker. In our defense, we're playing against Athletic Club Taipei, who have actually been pretty good this season. Right? They've won six. They've, including that 1-0 over us, drawn two, and they lost four. We did beat them 2-0 in the first time that we played against them, which was a home match for them. So I think, let me take a look here actually really quick and see, because I thought that was an away match. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things going on with this that don't make much sense, right? Yeah, so our last match was a home match, and we had 783 people present, which is the largest our crowd has been so far today. It was also one of these like fan celebration matches or something like that. Something's busted in this game, right? This is it right here. Disappointing reaction to fan day. And they're saying, oh, well, it saw a bumper crowd of 783 at Taipei Track and Field Stadium, which is incorrect because that's not where we play, right? Apparently it is where we play, along with the Taipei Skywalker. That's kind of odd if our team's in Taoyuan. I don't know. Go figure that out. Whatever. I think that we probably could use some modifications to some of the information that we have here. I slammed the team, right? No question about that. But this is the part that really makes me scratch my head, right? I'm facing an inquest after the surprising loss, right? Why would I be facing an inquest after we lost the match 1-0, right? We had two guys who had poor matches. That was it. We have now won 4 of our last 5 games in the league. We're currently first. We're up by 9 points, right? Our 16-game undefeated streak just ended, right? So why would I face an inquest for losing a hard-fought match 1-0, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? Now, the reason why I bring this up in the context of Football Manager addiction and what gets you to keep playing and stuff is because this is the sort of thing that makes you want to think, oh, well, I can prove them wrong, right? I know that my tactics just fine. I know that I have what it takes to continue to win. It's happened in the past. I'm going to go out and play the next match, and we're going to be successful this time around, and I'll show them who's boss and stuff, right? That's the sort of thing I think that really gets you going in Football Manager, right? That's the sort of thing I think that makes it so that you have this feeling when you play that like it's almost like it's personal, right? My reputation's on the line, my in-game reputation, right? I'm going to show them that I have what it takes and that we actually belong up here, right? Oh, they think that such and such young player isn't good enough. Well, I'm going to show them, I'm going to prove them wrong. I know that he is, and we're going to win, and things are going to be just fine, right? That's the thing. That's the thing that I think really gets you into this and makes you really think about, what's going on and think about, what you want to achieve and what you want to accomplish and how you want to show the game itself wrong. So that's one of those things that I think we have to keep in mind in the community, right? A lot of us don't like the way that the interactions happen with non-playable characters, especially with the press in game. But stuff like that can really be a motivating factor to keep you playing and to keep you wanting to see what's next around the corner, what's next around the block, right? If you don't have stuff like that in the game, if they were to take it out and, have the sort of thing that a lot of us clamor for on the forums, I think what you would see instead is a lot of people who don't have that motivation to keep going, to keep trying, to keep playing. The same thing probably applies to player interactions, right? So I've advanced a little bit here in game. Take a look at this. Who cares about what the board think? B minus because they're concerned about the one loss, right? B minus here where they don't think that Liu Chunjie has played very well. I don't either, right? Dynamics are still good. They have sort of good support from me. But here you go. It's Hai Yuting had a 6.0, and his mistakes led to the goal that was scored because he stood there in midfield and started counting daisies and dandelions, right? And I find him. He feels that even the most talented players will occasionally have a quiet match, and that finding him because his teammates didn't allow him to play his normal game is totally unreasonable. This is one of those things where you read it. This happens like every time you find a player 2 weeks' wages for having a real awful performance. This is the sort of thing that will keep you coming back because you get enraged and you're like, oh, what does that mean? What is this? How does this player get off on doing that? He was awful, right? He needs to play better than this. I think there are a number of things like this in game that make you think that way. Same thing with Hu Shichan, who played horribly and basically didn't show up, right? Of course, I'm going to find him. Hopefully, he'll become at least somewhat more determined. Liu Chunjie, in contrast, I find him only a week, and he admits that he deserved just fine, says that he's going to try a little bit better next time. And, that's a little bit, something that, is a little bit more expected. Now, if you think about that, if every player, when you find them, said, okay, yeah, it was my fault and I was wrong and stuff like that, if that were to happen every single time around, it wouldn't be much fun to play the game, would it? Right? You need to, when you're playing the game, you need to have something to sort of like, keep you going and to build up that emotion and to build that connection with the team. All right. The truth of the matter is that, and this if you've been around sports before, the truth of the matter is that it's not winning that makes you feel real connected to the team you're watching. It's actually losing. And it's especially, when you are rooting for a team that clearly has promise. You think, hey, man, something could happen. These guys, this is where it really is at. These guys could be really good. And then you realize that, they didn't play so well, and they lost, one of the big matches, something like that. That's the thing, right? That's the thing that will get you connected and will get you hooked in. The idea that, hey, this could happen. We could be on top. In the end, it might happen. And then you're disappointed. That will get you addicted. That will get you hooked on the sport. But winning every time won't do it. If you expect to win every time, and even if you do win every time, you'll find yourself bored. It's interesting how that works, but that's one of the reasons why Football Manager really kind of sinks its teeth into you and gets you in. Anyway, there you go. My thoughts on the subject. As always, love to know what you think, and let me know down below. Bye-bye.